Guys, welcome back to Revamp. Welcome back to the third installment on the Datsun 260Z. In the last episode, you saw us, we put the RB30 in, we had some mounting issues, got some sump issues, but what we've done in this episode is pretty much just forget all that, and we've jumped way ahead in our schedule. I don't know, we might be idiots, might be crazy, might have lost our minds, who knows. But I tell you what, we'll get straight into what we've been up to, and then we'll have a look what's under the cover. Alright, so we're here with the Neo, and we're just going to pull a few bits off it. You know, we'll probably just do a little bit of high speed, pull a few bits off that we don't think we're going to need, and maybe give it a degrease down. So stripping down the 25, we've found ourselves a RB sandwich plate. It is an automatic one. I think the manual might continue all the way around the bottom, but I don't really think it's going to matter that much. We can also see that although we have been told that there's 4 dowel pins on the back of an RB, we are only missing the top one on our engine. We have the side one. So that Datsun gearbox conversion was missing the top dowel. So it was aligning the entire gearbox of one dowel and basically the spigot bearing. You also see here how it's supposed to look, not worn away, like the one on our RB30 is. It's got that whole section there just worn. So yeah, you can see there that it just wasn't right on that RB30. Alright, so we've got the cylinder head off. You can see it's reasonable inside, like bores and everything, but we're not using this bottom end anyway. What we're concerned about is the head. You can see it's fairly clean combustion chamber. It's just a little bit of, you know, darkening around, you know, basically little tiny bit of carbon build-up. But yeah, it should work really well for us on top of that RB30 engine block. Alright, so what we're doing here is stripping down the RB30. We're doing it in the car because we have no sump on it to sit on the ground. Quite frankly, I couldn't be bothered putting it on the engine stand. And when the head's off it, we are going to be using the block deck to get the engine level with the mounts and everything. And then we've done the mounts, and then as you saw, we've got the twin cam head off, so that we'll be putting that on here. So, you know, in the last video you saw us, and we were saying that get it running RB30 and in the future, maybe a 25 Neo head on it. Well, guess what? That didn't happen. We've jumped ahead about, I don't know, about a year into the project now, and we're going straight to the 25 head. We've got a really cool induction system to put on it as well. So, yeah. It's really spicing up the project a lot. So Graham got this rocker cover off pretty quick, and we can see it's reasonably clean inside and everything. You can see how the single cam system works. Hydraulic lifter in the center here, and yeah, the camshaft sits underneath that. And then you've got these rocker arms that go out to the valve springs on the side. So we'll be changing to a complete twin cam setup. All right, so as you saw, me and Graham knocked that out probably a lot quicker than I thought. The modified wiring harness had a lot of stuff missing from virtually the underside of the manifold there, so we're able to take the whole lot off with the head, thankfully. So that made life a lot easier. So next step, see what the 25 head looks like on there? Maybe, I don't know. What do you reckon, Graham? You excited?
Yeah, get it.
You just want it to look like a TB48, don't you? All right, Graham's got a love with the TB48 in his Nissan Patrol, so yeah. Yeah, so we might go and get the head maybe today or maybe tomorrow, I'm not sure. Sit it on there, and it's entirely at the moment just to get the position of the engine better than what we thought we had, and to know that the position is going to work with the twin cam head. Because, you know, once you start, if you've got stuff that just bolts on out of a kit, great. You know, just bolt it in, yeah, all works. As soon as you have to like custom modify an engine mount bracket, custom make a transmission cross member, you get into this time factor thing where you've used up all this time to potentially modify something that may not fit the project later down the track with whatever you want to do. So yeah, it really comes into just a time usage thing, time management kind of thing, where if you've got to modify something, you may as well modify it for your end goal instead of trying to modify it for, some stopgap kind of situation. So our mate quite on board with that. That's why he just said rip the twin cam head off, put it on there. He said we might even do a freshen up on the short motor where we'll go fully balanced bottom end so we can really spin it hard. But that's where we're at. Obviously, we've got timing case. Oh, Graham's just going to check the thermostat in this thing. He's very impatient. Must use rattle tools wherever possible.
Time is a lesson.
Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah, baby. Woo. Look at the inside of that. Woo. Yeah. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So one thing we did notice is it's really lucky that we didn't just take this engine and run with it as it was, because we would have been instantly snapping a timing belt. Like, it is literally cracked on every, like, all the way around. It's great. It's one of the better timing belts I've seen for quite some time. So it does show that this engine has sat around a little bit. But yeah, so we're going to get the twin cam head probably. We've got to pull the front of this off. If people don't know, there's an idler pulley that you've got to put in here so that the belt can come out for the like fan out for the twin cam pulleys. But yeah, Graham's struggling to get that thermostat out. There she goes. Oh, it's much better on the inside. Oh yeah, okay, so we're pretty close. So I've just got to come forward a bit, mate. I can tell you right now, this thing is lower than that other one.
Yeah,
100%.
It's actually like perfect.
It's beautiful. It's fairly tight, but
no, it's perfect.
It's
It's
nice.
like angled for it.
Yeah.
That's factory angling for it.
All right, guys. So we just got the twin cam head sitting on the RB30 block, dummied in there. We've got the rocker covers on, and our mate turned up, and turns out he's been shopping. Yeah, it doesn't really surprise me, to be honest. But what he's turned up with is this RB26, 6 throttle body manifold and everything, and the plenum got fuel rail in a lovely shade of pink or purple, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, look, it was something we were thinking about, the like using the GDR manifold system on the RB25. We are aware that it doesn't bolt straight on. There are some manifold changes that you either have to make, or there's an adapter manifold or something available from what I'm aware of. So all we can do at the moment with this is sort of dummy fit it on there. But yeah, it's going to be pretty cool with the 6 individual throttle bodies. Should give it a good sound, naturally aspirated. And yeah, like we obviously know these things flow quite well because they make quite decent power in the GDRs. So we're just going to have to get the air movement fast enough with maybe some more compression or do something, custom exhaust and that kind of thing to, yeah, get that air moving through them fast enough. So let's have a look at dummy fitting them on and see what they look like in the car, because I reckon they're going to look pretty cool. So because the variable valve timing solenoid doesn't really fit with this intake because the GDR doesn't have it, or the GDR has a different system, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I think that's going to be part of the adapter manifold. But yeah, we're just lining it up on one of the rear studs and just sit it on the front stud for now. Like, I mean, this is entirely, I don't know what you would call it politely. We'll just call it factor. And yeah, so yeah, like just see what it looks like. Give our mate a couple of photos to drool over for a while. And yeah, and then we'll work on this adapter manifold. So at the moment, we're probably going to run with the plenum style intake. You know, there's obviously option to run some sort of like ram tube style thing off here, but I'm not sure how easily available it is to just bolt straight onto here and work. So at the moment, we're going with the the original plenum. As you can see, that looks pretty cool. And just to give you an idea of what it might look like, let's put that little fuel rail in there. And yeah, that's the Datsun setup. Well, guys, there you go. It's been a pretty nuts episode for, changing up what we're going to do. Out with all this single cam stuff you can see here. I've basically got engine parts around me all over the place, to be honest. Over the last couple of days, we've stripped down 2 engines, and we've set up this twin cam setup. We've dummied up this twin cam setup on the RB30 block. We are aware that it's not just a straight bolt-on operation, and we'll get into all that later down the track. But for now, we want to do this so we can set up the intake properly, this GDR intake, and set up the extractors properly, and then all our cooling system, try and get all the fabrication out of the way, and then move on to actual engine internals and that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you want to see that, subscribe to the channel and drop us a comment. Let us know what you think about the project. Really keen to find out what people think. And I'll catch up with you next time on Next Gen Revamp.